Before you buy the Meteor 75 Pro P1, you need to hear this, because I almost didn't buy it. I have analog drones that I really couldn't fly at the time, and I wasn't convinced that digital was worth it. But then I looked at the price, and it was almost the same that I paid for my analog version of the drone. Actually, I think it was a little bit cheaper the way that I bought it. So now the real question isn't, is it good? It's, why wouldn't you go HD? Let's talk about image quality, latency, price, and whether this thing actually makes sense. What's going on, everyone? Corey here with Airbender FPV. Let's get into it. So what are you actually getting? First off, this is still a tiny whoop, 1S powered, lightweight, backyard ripper, indoor friendly. It's not a long range cruiser. It's not a cinematic mountain diver. It's a fun little machine. But now you're getting HD videos. And I'm not talking slightly better. You can see branches clearly. You can see small gaps. You can judge distance better. And when you can see better, you can fly better. And that's after you learn how to fly, like I just did. Click the video above to see my first successful acro flight. But you fly better, not because the drone changed. For me, it was because my confidence changed. And that matters more than people think. All right, let's talk about the latency. As a bunch of you guys know, I am a newbie. And this is the part that everyone worries about, latency. What I'm about to talk about now is given to you from my point of view as a newbie. So this probably won't apply to seasoned pilots. Now this is the part that everyone worries about. From my understanding and from my experience, analog does feel instant. So how does the P1 feel? Honestly, it just feels locked in to me. I'm not feeling a delay. I'm not overcorrecting anything, and I'm not fighting with the system at all. When I punch the throttle or make a quick turn, it feels connected. Now, if you're a hardcore racer chasing milliseconds, I'm sure you'll notice some small differences. But for 95% of us, especially the newbies, flying tight and whoops in the backyard or indoors, it feels natural. It doesn't feel like I'm flying behind a drone, and that's what matters. Now, here's where things get interesting. Usually digital means way more expensive. But in this case, the price of this setup is very close to what I paid for the analog version, but I actually think it's cheaper. And I'm gonna go ahead and put those prices on the screen now. Because just a year ago when I bought the analog version of this drone, it was way cheaper. Now that gap is not that big. So if I'm already spending about the same amount of money, why not go HD? That's the real debate right now. If analog was half the price, different story. But in this case, it's not. So let me just say this before I get all the way into this video. I'm sure people think I'm getting paid for this. I'll put a link down below to this drone, but I'm not getting anything off this because I'm not an affiliate at all. I'm just a newbie that's excited about getting into FPV, and I really want to share my experience with you guys. I know some other guys out there, which I've been told in the comments over and over, that they're newbies and they're trying to learn how to fly it, or they just learned how to fly it. And I'm just taking you guys along with me for the journey. Now, with that being said, this drone is perfect for beginners who want HD without jumping to full DJI pricing. It's great for tiny whoop pilots, backyard flyers, indoor practice sessions, and people who already have bought into the BetaFPV ecosystem as far as the new goggles go. If you're learning acro, if you're building confidence, if you want clean footage without going huge, this just makes a lot of sense. Now, let's be fair. If you are on a strict budget, already own analog goggles and love them, want the absolute lowest possible latency, you're a racer, then most definitely the analog setup, it just makes sense. This isn't about saying analog is dead, because I love my analog drones, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, if this was out when I bought my analog setup, I would have bought this. It's about saying the decision isn't as obvious as it was anymore. So is the Meteor 75 Pro P1 worth it over analog? For me, yes. Because the price difference isn't crazy. The HD image is better, the latency feels solid, and the flying experience feels more premium. It's still a tiny whoop, just cleaner chaos, and right now, that's hard to ignore. Now I want to hear from you. Are you staying analog, or are you switching to HD, or are you going to do both? Or do you even think it's worth it at this particular point? Drop it in the comments below. Let's talk about it. If this helped you, hit subscribe. We're learning together over here, and as always, learn to bend the wind one flight at a time.